Well, thank you so much for coming today. We are really excited to tell people about one more way to make it easier to do business with the city of Albuquerque. From the very beginning of the administration, we've talked about the planning and permitting processes of the city of Albuquerque. I'm a contractor myself. That's what I've done my entire career. I've had a lot of interaction in the city of Albuquerque, state of New Mexico, federal government, about a 5-state region surrounding New Mexico with permitting processes. And one of the things that as a small business person always struck me was if there's a way that we can make it easier and quicker to get a building permit, then we can make it quicker to start construction. We can have backhoes moving quicker. We can have people on payroll sooner. We can get projects completed sooner. We can increase the gross receipts taxes for the city. We can improve people's quality of life. There's just all these reasons to make it as easy as possible and as smooth as possible to go from the concept to the implementation of capital investments to actually getting projects started. And today we've got another, I think, a great leap forward for the city of Albuquerque in that regard. Going back a couple of years, you will remember we started a program called Fast Tracks. And that was an effort to allow industry to come in and help them get permits quicker by bringing in outside expertise to do plan reviews and to shorten that process. And that has been a highly successful program. In fact, it's been so highly successful that we've been able to take some of the revenues from that, and we've been able to actually bring in additional inspectors. So what we're doing, and also plan checkers, I believe, is that correct? So what we're doing is we're asking the industry to help us speed things up, take those fees, roll those right back into services back to the industry and back to the community. I think this is going to be one of the next really great steps forward, and it's called E-Plan at the city of Albuquerque. And quite simply, let me just walk through the process, and I don't even really need the talking points because I've been through this so many times as a contractor. Normally what happens when you bring in a set of blueprints, whether we were working in the city of Phoenix, city of Albuquerque, anywhere around New Mexico, it didn't really matter, Las Vegas or in Nevada, you'd walk into the set of blueprints, you hand them to the plan checkers, you take 2 sets of plans down, they stamp them in, and they start the process. You go through zoning, you go through UBC, or you go through building codes, you go through the mechanical department, through the electrical department, you go through hydrology, you go through all these different steps in the process, and each one of those entailed somebody taking a set of blueprints, picking it up, doing their work, taking it, handing it to someone else, allowing them to do their work. And so what you ended up doing was having a starting and a finishing point to this, where you had to wait for each individual. And if it got delayed here, well, it got delayed all the way down the line. And it was very similar to a construction project. If the framing gets delayed, you can't start putting the exterior sheathing or the roofing on. So there's a critical path. Well, what E-Plan does, it allows contractors, architects, and anyone else in the city of Albuquerque, whether it's a residential project or a commercial project, to send your plans into us electronically now, and we will then disperse those plans to each individual that needs to look at your set of blueprints. They could be working on it concurrently, and we believe that this is going to make a tremendous difference in the amount of time that it takes to get a permit through the process. If someone gets delayed, it'll still be delayed in their area if they get overwhelmed, and as the economy starts to come back and our building permits in the future look towards increasing, this will allow us to do more, frankly, in a more efficient manner with the staff that we have. I hope I haven't really missed it, but that's exactly what I think that we're doing. And there's a couple of people here today that I want to thank in particular, and I know that Land is going to take us through a demonstration of this project. Susie Lubar is our head of planning and planning department at the city of Albuquerque. She's really doing a tremendous job there. Land Clark is here with us, and Tim Skelton. Tim is our IT individual. They all work at the planning department, and they all work together to make this happen for the citizens and the builders and developers and contractors and just folks that want to build a home. So I'm going to turn this over briefly to Land Clark and have him give us a quick run through of how this process works, and then we'll tell you how contractors can get more involved and make their lives a little bit easier and get out there and make investments sooner.
So all you have to do is go to our website, kind of a lengthy address, but go to our website. You can download an applicant guide. There's also a more in-depth overview that has a voiceover that will walk you through the process step by step to help you do it. But while you're there, you can download an application. So this replaces the back sheet of these rolled paper plans. It has all the information we need on there. And you submit this application, paying particular attention to who will get the invitation for the electronic plan. You'll get an invitation via your email address. It'll ask you to log on to Project Docs, which is the name of the program. Again, remembering to add the ActiveX control so the program actually works. But once you do that one time, it will always be on your system. So now you're in the system. You'll be asked to upload your construction documents into two folders. One is the drawings folders, the typical drawings that plans have, and also in the documents, the other supporting documentation, calculation, those kind of things. It will support DWG files as well as vectored PDFs. Pretty much anything they draw with CAD will be available to upload into the system. Once you've uploaded it, there'll be thumbnails so you can keep track of the drawings and where they're at, and this will be submitted to our plan review. As the mayor said, it will go to all the separate divisions concurrently. They'll be able to review it and to make any comments. If there are questions or concerns about a particular aspect of the drawing, the drawings will be marked up. Remembering that this will be an overlay. It will not actually affect the actual submission. It will just be an overlay to identify the issue, and then it will be, the text of the problem will be there. It will be sent back to the applicant where they can review the individual markups by clicking here, take them right to that particular page. They won't have to scroll through every page in the submittal. And if they can answer the question in text form, they can do it here. If the plans do require changing, they'll just upload again, and then we will bring them back in as version 2. Again, an overlay of the original submittal. Then, at any time during the process, any applicant can go in and look for the status, know when it was accepted, who's accepted it, and whether it's been completed or approved. And then with that, the plans are approved, they're batch stamped. There'll be a unique batch stamp that's on every page of the drawing. That will be sent back to the applicant. They'll make a printed copy, leave that printed copy on the job set. So that will be just one set of approved drawings that will have to be printed, and no more of these multiple sets.
So I think, as you can see, you can actually do this without ever leaving your home or your place of business, and that's one of the things. I think that this is absolutely great for the environment as well, for a couple of reasons. First of all, we less trees for less plans, right? You still have to print plans to do the projects and give to your subcontractors and your foremen and people and folks that are building the project. But the more we can bring this electronically, it'll help us at the city of Albuquerque. You won't have to get in your car and drive down. Saves on gas. It's good there. Saves on paper. Plus, for the city of Albuquerque, if you've ever been down to the basement of the planning department and see where we archive all of our blueprints and everything, this is really, yeah, they're all smiling because this will help us in great regard there as well. I kind of think this is something that we've been working on for quite a long time during the last several years. And I know it's been a heavy lift. I've asked you guys to do some big things with this, and you've really done a wonderful job. But this is really akin to when we switched from drafting on paper to drafting with a computer. I mean, it's that kind of a shift. And we really want the community and the folks out there that have to rely on the planning department and the services that we provide to understand that this is at your disposal. The fact that it takes DWG, PDF files, DWG, just for everybody's, that's what AutoCAD calls their files. Those are in DWG format. So you can do this in all kinds of the CAD drafting, convert it to PDF, and we can work on it. So I'm really excited about this, and I know a lot of, if you're involved in the building industry at all, and you're watching this, I know you're going to be very, very excited about it. But just for the folks that aren't involved in the building industry, that aren't involved in permitting, this is leaner government. It's more efficient government. It's better government service, which we're always trying to promote in the administration, making it easier to do business inside the city, easier to do business with the city on those things that we're required to do from a permitting standpoint. So I'm very proud of what you have been able to do. As I said earlier, we ask you to do a lot, and you've really come through in a big way. So thank you very much for doing it.
Pleasure.
With that, we could answer any questions that anybody may have.
How long does it take to get plans approved under the current system? I don't know whether it's a month long or a week long.
Well, it depends on the project. I mean, if you're sending in a carport, it's a matter of days. If you're sending in a hospital, it could be weeks or months. It depends on the complexity of the project. I can tell you, with fast tracks, we significantly cut the time it's taken to get a plan through. If you decide to go that fast tracks methodology, when I've asked my folks planning to give us an exact number, we'll have to see over time. We calculate these numbers. We'll watch over the next year, and then we'll put it on our dashboard. And it's one of those things you can see on ABQ View dashboard, how long it takes to get building permits out. Residential are usually a little quicker than commercial, but sometimes not so much. So it just depends on the complexity of the project. But we know that this will save time. There's just no way that this is not going to save significant time when you can have, how many plan checks do we have now? Let's go through them. We got zoning, hydrology, traffic, mechanical, electrical, UBC, building code, fire, solid waste. Sounds about right.
That's about it.
I think
So there's 8. Well, if 8 people are looking at it once versus going in a string of 8, one after the other, I'm hoping that the savings are fairly significant. And I think other places that have been able to implement this around the country have seen significant savings as well. Plus, I can tell you, I would just think from the plan checker standpoint, it would relieve some of the frustrations of waiting. There may be a day when you've got some extra time and you want to work on something, but yet a plan's been held up at another area, and it just allows you to work at your own pace and hustle things through.
And this is available right now, or will it go into
We've been piloting this now for about 3 weeks. We've had 6 or 7 people take advantage of it so far. Is it
9 total.
9 total? So we want to get the word out now. With any new program, if we find a glitch or need to fix a bug in it, we can do that. But so far, I've been hearing good things.